Well, hi everybody, it's Doug. So I always seem to hit you guys up on a holiday weekend, this holiday weekend being Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all you and yours. So today we're going to be talking about some antique locks I picked up, and I'll do a quick pick on this one at the end. First, I'm going to make Peter Lewis jealous. He and I were talking about these. He picked up a couple of these, or picked up one of these, and maybe or two. But I was poking around on Facebook Marketplace, and I've never been able to get a hold of these things because they're usually sold with the original key. And with what I didn't realize is the original key is worth like $50 to $70. So you'll see these things, usually the pair selling for 80 to 125 bucks. In my case, I didn't care about the original key, and I found a guy on Marketplace who had bought a box of wrenches at auction, and at the bottom, he found these two. Had no use for them. They didn't have keys, so he put them up on Marketplace, and I found them, and I got myself a pretty good deal. I got them at 25 bucks a piece, which sounds like an amazing deal, but again, they didn't have keys. So what I ended up doing was I found a reseller selling new old stock Yale key blanks. So these things are probably from the era where these probably 1920s locks came from, but they were blank and they were in the right zigzag dogleg fashion that I needed. So I just had to find out what the key shape should be, which I did. I found lots of examples of the Southern Railway key and just imitated one, and sure enough, they worked. So starting with this one has a flaw in that there is a piece of the metal missing. It's very cleanly cleaned off, so I think it broke off and somebody cleaned it, or maybe they did that deliberately. You could see it's got the wear from when it sat in the hasp, but it locks up nice, and it unlocks just as nicely. So the kick spring isn't quite there, but nice lock and working key. And again, if you look real close, it says Southern Railway there. This one, on the other hand, was not working for me. I was using the exact same key that I'd made for this and was working. The key wasn't turning all the way, and at the time, this was completely covered with rust. Couldn't even see the Yale logo. So I figured that maybe the levers were binding. So I gave it a soak in some vinegar, and that took off all the surface rust. I left the scabby rust because that's part of the character, and got myself a key. And what I found was, eventually, I didn't realize it at the time, but eventually I figured out that the bottom edge of the key was still a little too long, and it was hitting on a ward over here. So once I worked my way down, I found it working in great condition. So again, two beautiful Southern Railway locks with handmade keys. That's what these are, and we'll move those over to the side. And then this beauty. These are both gold locks. I've been wanting the Southern Railway for a long time, and that the Banjo, they should have told you that's called a Banjo style lock. Some people call them figure 8. But the other one I've been wanting was a dual custody. Now, you've probably seen this. I know a lot of my viewers are also Chris Capune fans, and they came over this way from Chris's advice. So they've probably seen one of these before, but a lot of my viewers may not have seen one of these. This is dual custody. It is made for OSU. You can see that there, made for OSU. And by my guesses, because there is no Yale cloverleaf, just the stretched out Yale logo, I'm guessing this has to be like 1930s. Past the cloverleaf era, before the plain font era. So we lock this up, and there is a change and a master keyhole. And I don't know where they get where their termage was, but I think the concept I know at least master, conceptually would mean that there could be a bunch of these locks in use and only one master key necessary for all of the locks that are in use. So the master key owner would be able to come along and open any one of these locks. Let's say they're all on a bunch of lockers in a storage area, and then to the individual person that has the ownership of that one locker or whatever it might be, they would get the change key and they'd be able to come in and open it from the change key. So change and master. My buddy Bill over at my Bill the Locksmith got this at the Indianapolis Lock Show. So I'm very happy he found this. Kind of cool. It's a unique shape as well. You don't have the flat and rounded edges. It actually kind of slowly comes in. So it's really beautiful, beautiful lock. So now it is time that we do a quick pick on this one. It's not a very complicated pick, which means I can handle it, rusty as I am. But so we've got it locked up, and I've picked both keyways, but I'm going to go for the master today, probably because the master might have some master discs in it. It probably is why it's a little simpler for me to pick. Get a nice narrow, I think it's like a 30 thousandths top keyway. Get that in place, and I'm just going to use the old Battleship, the 25 thousandths Peterson gem. I've also picked it with the offset hybrid from Sparrows, but I'll go for the gem this time. So right now, number one is loose, and I have pre-picked this one, so I know what to expect. Two, trying to be quiet so you can hear it. There goes the set on two. 3 and 4 seem happy, but 5 is waiting to be set. And I think that was just a nice loud set on 5. Now let's see. We come back to 1, and now 1 is resistant, which means it's binding. And that was the one. We've got our open there. So not too bad of a pick. It's a 5-pin. So you can see the bitting. Not too bad, high and back. There we go. So that is our new lock collection items. And a quick pick on that Yale for OSU, the dual custody. Love this. I've been wanting one for a while. Thank you, everybody. Wow, that is as crooked as it can get. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Do, if you can, comment. Maybe drop a thumbs up if you can. And if you haven't already done, subscribe. Look for more content with some antique locks like this one. Take care, everybody. Stay well. Have a great weekend.